everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up. Welcome to our His Dark Materials Season 1 Episode 6 Thoughts video. Just finished watching the latest episode of His Dark Materials on HBO, and I'm just going to be sharing my general thoughts on the episode. We'll be getting into some spoilers for this episode. In this episode we see we start off this episode with Lyra having been captured at the end of the last episode and ending up at, I believe it's called the station, where all the other kids are and where the bad guys are experimenting on kids, trying to separate them from their demons. And so this episode's kind of spent with Lyra getting all the answers to this stuff. And so this was pretty kind of interesting episode because we get a lot of kind of, like I said, answers to a few of the things. Like we learn that I guess these bad guys are kind of motivated by that they see dust as sin, and so they're trying to, and kids don't have dust in them yet because they haven't hit puberty, and so then they had sins. It seems all like it's an analogy for hormones, maybe. I don't know. They're trying to say that the dust is what makes people do bad things and having a connection to their demons. So it's a whole lot of stuff, and I'm just like, okay, this is interesting. Kind of learn a little bit more about at least Calder's motivation behind why she's killing kids pretty much and separating kids, trying to separate kids from their demons. So that was just kind of interesting to kind of get a confirmation of that in this episode. Another interesting part about this episode, since she's at the station where all the kids are, Lyra is able to be reunited with Roger, and at first they have to pretend to not know each other, but then they're reunited, they team up, they get in a little bit of hijinks right away, they start a snowball fight as a distraction, which I always approve of. Either snowball fights or food fights. Either one, great distraction when you got a bunch of kids involved. So I thought that was a fun little thing. And then they go do a little bit of scouting. They find the demon cages where some of the kids who had already had theirs separated from them were being held and stuff like that. So you really see these kids learn a lot. And I really like this because we see these two kids just being brave in the face of this horrific stuff, just like all these other kids. They could be more like all these other kids, but instead they actually step up. But again, this is also why the story is about them. But yeah, so some other kind of fun and interesting stuff I liked about this episode. We see at one point that Lyra is hiding under the bed from Calder, which I thought was a fun little kind of tie to the fact that she's hiding under the bed from her mom, and she's like, So I just thought that was kind of a fun little thing. What else do we got? Lyra almost ends up in the separator herself, almost gets hers taken away, and she has to start screaming for her mommy. Again, another fun little thing. I just find these little things kind of fun because obviously they haven't had the typical mother-daughter relationship, and they're hitting a couple of these cliches right away. She's calling for her mom when she's in danger, which obviously makes sense in this scenario. I just think it's a little funny to kind of exaggerate those little bits of things. But anyways, we do see that. Again, we learn more, but we learned about the dust in this one from Calder. And then we see this fun little scene with Lyra and Calder where Lyra's conning, there's no other way to put it. She cons the hell out of Calder. Calder's just buying into that. Yeah, she's just cool with this all. Lyra's just cool with all of a sudden staying with you and just kind of forgives everything she was literally arguing with you about for the last 5 minutes. But so I just like that. I like that you kind of see that she's not really hiding it that much, but this is just Calder not being able to really read this, read the fact that she's kind of being conned or tricked by Lyra, who's just waiting for a moment to distract her, and then when she has that moment, she springs, or lets something else spring into so that was just kind of fun little a scene and kind of lead up. And then I love this line that Lyra said when she's escaped. Lyra said when she was escaping, or after she met up with the kids and they're all escaping. But this one line she said about, I'm going to go cause some chaos. And I was like, oh, that's that's a fun little thing. So, and she goes and blows up the separator thing by just flicking a bunch of switches, and I'm like, that is a way to blow stuff up. So that was just kind of a fun way to go about that. And then we see that all the kids are able to, well, most of the kids, I guess. It doesn't really imply if they're all able. I assume they're all able to escape with the help from the Egyptians who arrived just in time. It was perfect timing, but again, it's a story. So that was again, that was just a fun scene again too. Like the action of seeing her trying to escape and all the kids trying to escape while the bad guys try to capture the Egyptians all fighting. It was just kind of fun to see. Fun to see the bear kind of clean up, and then we also saw the one witch lady comes in and cleans up too, which was just a really great scene. I wasn't expecting it. I thought she was just going to be playing kind of I don't want to say recon, but just kind of watching over in case anything too bad happens. And I guess that scene was kind of close to being too bad, but then she just comes in and ends it like that, and I thought that was really cool. But yeah, then we see after that no time to rest for them at all. They're right on to the next thing. Lyra's just finished saving all these kids. Now she's on to go save her dad, and it's like, wow, girl can't get a second off. So they hop in Lee's balloon and they head off to go try and rescue her dad. And while they're in the balloon, we see Lee has a conversation with the witch lady again, and she tells Lee that he's pretty much got to help protect Lyra, which we kind of already got, but now he's kind of going to do it for love, as he puts it, and that he kind of learns how important he learns that she is important, not why, just that she is really important, and not just to this world, to all the world. So it's just, I really like that they're hinting at this thing, but they're not telling us. She even says, the witch lady even says at one point to Lee that Lyra can't know how important she is, and I'm like, is that you guys' way of telling me that I'm not going to find this out till the very end, because I want to know why she's so important. But yeah, so I just like that I do like that they're keeping it a mystery and kind of just hinting at it continuously, being like, there's something going on with her, showing us these little things like, oh, there's might be something special. She could just read the compass thing just on her, just instinctually. So I'm curious to learn why she's the chosen one, and along with the kid we were introduced to last episode. But yeah, then the end of this episode ends off with the balloon getting attacked by these cliffs, this cliff something, they were names, but there's some cliff monsters that look kind of like flying, they look almost like sloths, but with like, I don't want to say wings, but like the flying squirrel type wings. But I don't know, that looked kind of cool, and it was kind of just funny to see. Then the bear, as soon as the bear sees it, that was the part I liked too. The bear just sticks his head out and just scares them all away pretty much. Well, that and some shooting. But then we end this episode with something I wasn't actually expecting, which is just Lyra just to fall out of the balloon and just into the middle of I don't know where, which is, I guess, exactly how they wanted to leave this episode. I was just being like, well, what happened? Where did she go? And obviously people who read the books already know, but I haven't, so I'll have to wait till next week to find out. But yes, that's all my thoughts on this latest episode of His Dark Materials. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what you thought about this latest episode. Thanks again for joining me. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and have a good one.